Well, Emi Buendia looking a bit agitated with the Carrow Road turf there, Rob, as he's going off the pitch, frustrated at the performance perhaps, or the lack of chances, you think?
I don't know. I think in that particular instance, I think the time was coming towards the end, and I think he was just gyrating Sorensen for not striking it, but for keeping possession. But overall, it's been a possession-wise, Norwich had seriously bossed it and whatever. But Sheffield Wednesday are really strong. We knew they were going to be strong and compact in defence and out of possession. They've done it well, and like I say, they sort of like prevented Norwich having numerous chances. I think they've only had a couple of chances where the keepers made a save, a long shot from Pukki and Placheta coming in from the side.
And without sounding like a broken record again, teams are coming to Carrow Road and they set themselves up pretty much like this, and they are 5-4-1. Narrow as well, staying nice and narrow, because Norwich like to play through those lines in those areas, and we've gotten some good areas today in terms of Placheta, but sometimes his delivery is not the right decision perhaps at times. That's something he's got to learn to do better. Yeah, gets himself in great areas.
I think so. You're the winger. You know what I mean? But I'm seeing it from a defensive side, and some of the balls that Placheta has put in, basically they're easy to defend. You know what I mean? They're a nice height. They're neither low and hard to the near post or chip to the far post. I think if you start getting a winger who's clever and starts picking players out as a defender, that makes it so much more difficult.
I think what he does as well, he has this tendency to, even when there's a group of his own players in the box, he'll try and pick someone out, rather than, I was kind of taught as a youngster to hit areas for those people to attack. And like you said, if you get into a certain area and you can whip a ball across the 6-yard box in that instance, put it low. If you put any height on it, the defender's got a better chance of clearing it or looking over the bar. You put it in low, it's really difficult to defend. And if you can't do that, then you dink one up to the far post for the players to attack at the far post. So it's just learning. If there's one in the box and he's only got one target to aim for, then he has to try and whip them and pick them out. But perhaps he's just, playing those percentages a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. And it's as if he's crossing the ball and just keeping his fingers crossed that it goes to a Norwich player. But it won't, because like Sheffield Wednesday have so many bodies back there. And like you say, once he starts hitting them low and hard near post between the goalkeeper and the last defender, they're difficult to defend. If he clips it to the far post or even pulls it back to the penalty spot where there's players waiting, that makes it difficult to defend. But balls in about waist to chest height, if a defender's in front of the striker, you can head them over the bar. Yeah. If they're on the floor, you're putting them in your own goal.
But are we watching a Norwich team, though, which we've seen so far this season and probably over the last few seasons, they will play the same way because they know, particularly at this level, they will get chances during a game. Even if it's 1 or 2 and it's important they take them then. So they don't change the way they play too much, because they're pretty confident they will break a team down. It's that persistence, that kind of constant pressure, that they will get those chances at some point.
Yeah, but I think at times you need to change up. You do need to change up. Don't get me wrong, the way they play is the way that you want to see football played, pass the ball. But I don't think at times they pass it quick enough. I think they give opponents too many occasions where they can sort of like just suck in the air and breathe, get their breath back. You know what I mean? It's not continuous. Yeah, it's not continuous. And it's sort of, a lot of it is sideways and a lot of it is backwards, which is okay if you want to keep possession. But there's times, and we've said like numerous times over the previous games, balls played early, goal against Stoke. Balls played early with Pukki making the runs caused more problems than like maybe 10 passes across the back line through to the midfield and whatever, and then back to the back line again.
Well, let's speak to the master of someone who would make late runs into the box, Jeremy Goss, and just get his views on that, Gossy. Is that something they could do a little bit better? Because the way Norwich play, they like to play everything in front of them. But does, as Rob said, does that give the opposition an opportunity to get back and organise rather than playing those early balls? Because you're a midfielder that would like to make those runs into the box to arrive to a ball dinked to far post. We've seen so many volleys from you. Is that something that Norwich could perhaps add to the game, just play the little bit quicker? Because we've seen goals from this season when they have done that.
Yeah, a dominant performance from Norwich City in terms of possession, but no reward in terms of scoring goals. There isn't any space for any midfield players to run into, from what I can see, on top of the gantry. It's too crowded, it's too compact around Pukki. Stiepermann, Buendia, Placheta, they're running inside, stopping the ball, stopping the space for Pukki to get into and get on the ball. I really do think that I love his energy, Placheta. I've been impressed with him in this half, and I love his enthusiasm, as Buendia has shown. But sometimes, it's the easiest thing or the hardest thing is just to stand still. And Sorensen's getting a lot of space on the left-hand side, and indeed Placheta was earlier on. But you need Placheta on the ball rather than Sorensen, and I think they should stand still a lot more, because the out ball for the Norwich players is down this left-hand side. That's where the troubles are being caused. As for the balls in the box, I think on the occasions he's had the ball, Pancetta, he's just drilled it. He's drilled it low and hard and hoped for the best. It is very compact. Every Tony Pulis side is a physical, hard-working team to break down, and as they've proven, I think Norwich have just got to be careful on the counter-attack though, because they do get forward quickly.
And that's it, Norwich do like to get their bodies forward, but as you said, we've said this before, is it a case of Pancetta and Buendia actually starting from wider areas? Because as you said, they like to make those runs inwards, which then crowd down the space for Pukki to run into, or Steepman to make those darting runs, or other players to get in and around the 18-yard box. They all end up being in one massive group in a big line, both teams essentially in front of the 18-yard box of Norwich.
Yeah, you've got to come backwards. You've got to give the centre-halves the ball a lot more, drop a bit deeper, try and pull defenders off the 18-yard box, get your wide players where they should be, and that's out wide, and then create space. Just let Steepman and Pukki do the work and do the rotation off each other 30 yards outside the box. When they're so keen to get runs across the front line, there was one occasion I counted when Vrancic was on the ball, there were 5 Norwich City players in one straight line doing no movement whatsoever because they were shattered, because they've been doing running and chasing and trying to create space prior to that. And it was flat, so he had to go back to centre half. So it ended up back in our goalkeeper's hands. So, yeah, you've got to make movements, but listen, get wide, stay wide. You know, as a wide guy, sometimes it's really easy. The game seems easy because you don't move inside. And the Sheffield Wednesday defenders on this right-hand side are getting sucked in, giving Sorensen and giving Pancetta so much space. Stand still. Then when you've got the best player, the fastest player on the ball against one defender, he's going to beat him, then he's going to get a good cross into the box. Yeah,
well, let's bring John Newson in as well. Newson, is that okay? You know, from a defender's point of view, for Sheffield Wednesday at the moment, it's not easy for them to defend, but it's much easier the way Norwich are playing, because you've got a right back now who, of course, is on a booking as well. The last thing you want is to get him isolated up against Pancetta. But at the moment, the movement's where it's easy for the back 5 of Sheffield Wednesday when they go defensive to stay nice and narrow and defend Norwich.
Absolutely, yeah. And everything's in front of them as well, isn't it? So, you know, as the balls, and I think Rob touched on the point that the pace of play when the ball gets transferred from Norwich is too slow. So if you're changing that ball from right to left and left to right, it's got to be faster and quicker. So you're struggling to get across, and from back to front, it's got to be a bit quicker as well. So yeah, I think, as we said before the game, you know, Sheffield Wednesday come here to frustrate Norwich City. They'll pack the defence, they'll pack the midfield, they'll work hard. They've really got nothing going forward. They're just trying to hit you on the break, maybe a set piece, and it's dull to watch as a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but it's Tony Pulis, and you know what? If he walks away from Carrow Road with a point, he's going to be happy.
That's it, isn't it? You know, and Gossi, you look at what we've seen out there. I mean, how did Norwich try and break this down then? Is it a case of trying to draw Sheffield Wednesday out a little bit, so playing a bit more defensively, playing around the back lines to go forward? Or do they just keep persisting what they're doing? Because we do see success from Norwich, even when they play this way, and they seem to be not creating those chances. They do get 1 or 2, and generally they go on and have won the games this season.
Well, Joseph Wildsmith, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper, hasn't had that much to do. Yeah, he's been in dangerous positions and he has been troubled, but he hasn't really had a lot to save. Even with the 2 free kicks that we had with Vrancic and Buendia, they didn't hit the target. I think they've got to shoot more, they've got to take chances more. Open up just that 1 yard, 25, 30 yards out, and just strike at goal. So more shots, definitely. And yes, I agree, they've got to draw the Sheffield Wednesday team out of the 18-yard box. They're going to be compact and very narrow. They're going to force the ball wide. But when it does go wide, can they cross from a deeper position? You've seen when Sheffield Wednesday have troubled Norwich, they were crosses, set pieces from a wide and longer, deeper distance. And maybe Norwich should be doing that. But most certainly, give Pukki more space to get the ball, isolate Pancetta on this left-hand side a lot more so he can do his stuff and beat the defender and whip in good crosses. And just don't get in the way of each other. But having said that, the energy and the enthusiasm from the Norwich players has been outstanding, but they've just got to be a little bit more clever while they're on the ball.
Yeah, and news is we've seen what Sheffield Wednesday have done. They've come and defend, but as Gossi said there, they have put some decent balls into the box. And would that have been the game plan? Because we all know, you know, as a defender, as much as you'll like those defenders, as a defender, the ball coming to the box, you're able to head it out and deal with it, the odds are one or two are going to fall to the opposition. And that is the case sometimes. It's just playing percentages. And that's tend to what Pulis likes to do, isn't it? Play those percentages.
That's all he's doing, isn't it? You know, he's trying to frustrate Norwich City. He's hoping that you know their game plan, they start getting a bit impatient and therefore that allows probably the last 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, Sheffield Wednesday to be a bit more offensive minded. But it's all about set pieces, long throw-ins, percentages, as you've said. If one drops to you and you get a little, you know, a bit of luck, you get a nick off somebody's knee or somebody's backside, and you end up, you know, scoring a goal, and all of a sudden you're defending, and then Norwich get really, really impatient, and the game plan goes out of the window even more. And that's what he's all about, really. And it's not great to watch. And as Rob just said, you know, it's not the way that we played football when I was at Norwich. You know, we like to get it down and pass it and play the game in the right way. But that's how he's got success in the past, and that's what he's been brought in to do, really.
Yeah, you sound absolutely thrilled by the way they're playing. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll have a chat with you again after the game. But it must be, from his point of view, say you a certain way of playing, and you watch your old teams play, and they play in that manner, and you think, you know, we're going for a draw here, aren't we?
Yeah, no, and they are. Like, bang on. They'd be so happy if they go away with a point here as well. And they've done enough to earn a point today. I mean, like, they have got the threat of their counter-attack. Windass is quite sharp, and they are quite quick on the counter, but he's not worried about that. He's worried about being real solid at the back as a defensive unit, and they've done it fantastically well. And I just think what we're talking about, Placheta being the outball, he's like Gossi said, he needs to stand still. Let him be the winger. You know what I mean? Sorensen's not the greatest because he's right-footed. He's probably happy to stay deeper or even go in midfield. Let Aarons be the fullback that plays high, but let Placheta stay wide. He's the one that receives all the time. Every time he gets it, drive in from there, because, like I say, if he gets those crosses right and picks out, you've got half a chance.
Yeah, well, there's still plenty of time to go the second half, of course. But it has been an exciting day for Norwich anyway. They've launched their new Junior Canaries website. Here's Onel Hernandez to tell us loads more.
I'm now going to take a look at our new Junior Canary website. Don't forget, you can use it on a phone, tablet or computer. Let's kick off with our competitions page. Here's where you will find all the latest exciting competitions to enter. If you see the log icon on the top corner, make sure you are a junior member, as the competitions are just for you. If you want to play some fun games and quizzes, then our activities page is perfect. Head over here and you all see lots of things to do, like our matchday activities, where you can pick your team and even vote on your man of the match. Next up is our Discover page, where you will see feed of all our best and newest content, including some fun videos of me and my teammates. Next is my favorite, the Squad page. Here you all see every player and exciting player profile for each of them. Let's check mine out. You all see lots of fun facts, videos, photos of your favorite player. Once you think you know everything about a player, there's even some featuring quizzes to test your knowledge. Finally, we got our gallery and fan pages. On the gallery you will find on the latest photos and videos from our games, events and much more. And the fans page has details of all other awesome things we offer to junior members. If you are already a junior member, make sure to log in to your account to access all of the great exclusive content. If you are not, you can buy a membership from here to gain access to everything. Enjoy your new website and make sure you keep coming back. Don't miss the new exciting stuff, and especially the things with me.
Well, I think we're a bit old for that, Rob, but enjoy the second half.
But it has already been fouled. 10 seconds.